looking at Michael Limongello, who opened with 238. Right back in the pocket. Oh, he sailed that one.
Yeah, he's really sharp, Freddie. When you're sharp, you can swing that ball a little wide and get that extra lift to get back solid. And yet, if you're going to pull the ball, you can still skid it in the pocket. That's the ideal shot.
Fred Lening, who has 4 10-pins. First game, leaves a new one. The 7-pin actually got a fortunate break there. He might have had one on the other corner.
Freddie pulled that ball about 2 boards inside his line. He was trying to be careful. He's 20-something pins down. He wants to get going and get those strikes going. And he's just too careful with his shot.
There's the cover, and the moose moves left. This fella is averaging 221 on championship bowling. A former winner of championship bowling here in Akron, Ohio. Here it comes. He gets that 10-pin out of there, and I got a good look at the 8-pin, too.
Not often you carry that shot.
Limongello moving in on the right. He has a lead of 22 pins. He can add to that with his strike. His favorite side, he hasn't missed it yet. And he keeps that record going.
That ball looked high all the way, Freddie. I think even himself, he thought that ball wasn't going to set all the way in there.
I noticed him shaking his head like he was very disappointed. But I'm sure that when that strike is put up on the score sheet, he's not going to complain one bit. I wonder what Lening is thinking about. Well, he's on 2. He might as well feel that he don't know where he's throwing it and get strikes. It's not a bad formula.
Pull that ball.
Too high. 3, 6, 10. This will keep him busy. What's your suggestion on covering this pair?
Well, Freddie, you got to move to the extreme left. Throw a little bit harder. Keep from taking out the 3-6. Even that 10-pin
seems to me I watched you do that on a commercial.
Yeah.
3, 6, 10. Covered. Very nice shot. So at the end of 3 for Limongello, 47, counting 7. He has all strikes on the right side. As Lening moves in on the right, Freddie needs this double to stay close to his young opponent from North Babylon, New York. Big turn. There it is. 8-10. That's what we looked at the last frame, but of course he kicked them both out.
Well, that was almost the identical shot as the last one, Freddie. He's bowling a little deeper inside towards the 3rd arrow on 24. And the ball doesn't have quite the angle it did on 23, and he did leave the 8-10.
Well, this may disturb Freddie a little bit. Be interesting to see what he does from here on. An 8-10 sometimes can take a lot of wind out of your sails. Lening now trailing by 20 pins this game. Limongello out in front by better than 40 pins. We're almost halfway. $1,000 to the winner. There's some nice action, but he has the 8-pin.
Pins all over.
Trying to carry that one.
I think Freddie was trying to slow down a little bit that time to get that ball to come up, and yet he in the adjustment, he swings the ball a little more, and they almost miss the head pin. But that's one of his most effective strike balls right there, Freddie. He catches those off-the-wall shots all the time.
At the 8-pin, the cover is Michael Limongello, just a youngster, his first championship bowling series. Like to make it a good one. Opened with 238. He's still in that pocket over here. Still perfect on the right side. And we're going to have our statistician, Sam Baca, start to give us a count here. See how far Limongello can go on the right side.
Let's see what he does with 23 this time, Freddie. He was high last time. See if he makes that adjustment.
He has 7 in a row on the right side. Go! Go! Oh, boy, he got away with that one. The 5-7, and that ball was falling away when it hit the pocket.
Yes, he was. He's so deep inside. The natural adjustment from being high last time was give it room, and he caught him off the wall. It's a good break.
We're in the fifth, almost halfway. Lening with a good turn. Too much, too high for 7.
Freddie seems to be having a lot of trouble with this alley 24, Fred. He fails to give it room many times.
Four, 7 covered. Lening with a spare in the fifth. We're halfway in the second game, halfway in the match. For Lening, it's 66 with a spare. Limongello is 67. In the third, he works on 2 strikes. Lening in the sixth. Go. Looks good. No 8-10 there. Beautiful ball.
The ball was perfect all the way, Fred. He knew he had that when he let go of it.
Mike Limongello, 7 strikes in a row on the right side. Let's see if he can string them out, make it 8. He's on a double. Bonus money for 5 in a row.
Looks like he's going to be high this time.
Oh, my. The Angels are flying in North Babylon, New York. That's a couple of those on the right side.
That's when you're living right, Fred. That's when you shoot those big series. You need those breaks, and he sure had them. He'd just keep going now and just hit that pocket. He may shoot a nice 700 here.
That's 8 in a row. Nelly on the right side. Let's see what he can do here on the left. This is where he's working. He scattered one here in the fifth. Out, back, looks good. Solid 10-pin, and there's a bad break. So there's good ones and bad ones.
Well, they say that bowling evens itself out, and there's one of the evener-uppers right there.
Yes, sir. Didn't wait long to get even. So that eliminates Limongello in this string for bonus money, but he still has room. He's got to go all the way from the 8th, the cover, and he has the spare. So for Limongello, it's 146. With a spare in the 7th, as Lening moves in the 7th, and Fred is working on a strike.
Swinging it wide.
Doesn't get there. The 2 and the 8, Lening just going a little wide, unable to get the double, and that leaves Limongello out in front with a comfortable margin here in the 7th frame of the second game. 62 pins to hang on to for $1,000. Lening, a former winner of championship bowling, covers the 2 and the 8. This fellow won $13,450 on championship bowling in the Akron series, defeating Billy Hardwick in the finals. There, just like that.
That's a great carrying ball of Lening's.
Well, let's watch the youngster, Michael Limongello. He has 8 in a row going for him here on the right side. Caved in a couple, but made them count. We're in the 8th. Oh, a Brooklyn? Not enough, and he leaves the 5 and the 9. So the string ends here on the right side. Seemed like Mike had a little trouble either getting out of it or it got away from him a little too quick.
I think the ball was slipping off his thumb on his backswing, Freddie, and the natural tendency is to squeeze it and then pull it back, and that's what happened. He pulled it right over the Brooklyn. Extreme right to shoot this. Perfect.
Covers the spare. Limongello with a spare in the 8th, still sitting on a 230 game. Say, do you get mad when people throw things in your house? Well, listen, Mother, there are thousands of people who don't throw things in the house. They throw them at the bowling center in their neighborhood. That's what you should do. Throw it at your bowling center and enjoy yourself at the same time. Why not go bowling? Have some fun. Hurry up. 1, 2. And that's the first time that Mike has missed a head pin. You ought to meet your local proprietor. He's quite a guy.
Drop that ball. Still coming. Mike seems like he's having trouble with his hands a lot. His thumb hole may have gotten looser.
We're in the 9th frame for Fred Lening. He opened with 216. He sits on a strike. There's a good turn. Oh, he got out of that one beautifully.
That was a perfect ball, Fred. He got that ball way out on the alley, and it didn't cover too much territory, almost straight into the pocket. That's your best ball for carrying.
We're in the 10th. Lening on 2. Keeps working. Hold that line. The 4-pin stops him.
See, he didn't have the same loft, Freddie, as he did on the other one. The ball just had a tendency to roll that extra board higher, catch the 4. Oftentimes you'll trip it out, but when you lay it short, it'll cut right through. When you get the ball out in front of you, you have a chance of knocking the 4-pin forward on that hit.
At the 4, the cover, the full count for Fred Lening, 195. 195. Lening leaving the 4-pin. I believe that's the first 4-pin that Lening's had. He had 4 10-pins the first game. He had an 8-10 this game. Had an 8-pin. That 8-10 unnerved him for a few frames. That's what you're talking about right there. He had the loft on that one, Nellie.
Nice, easy ball there. Just stroked right through it. Perfect.
Limongello now, moving in on the right side. He opened with 238. He has a chance for 230 this game. He needs 2 in the 10th.
You may give this one a little more room, Freddie. Just make that adjustment. Laid that ball short. Still had time.
So Limongello now has only missed the right side once, leaving the 5-9, coming back here in the 10th, and he'd like this one for another 230. This will give him 470 going in. 2 appearances, total pins for 6 games will qualify the top 2 men to join Dick Weber and Billy Hardwick in Championship Bowling's World Series from Akron, Ohio. Out,
turn.
back, out to high.
You know, Freddie, that inside angle he's got here around between the 3rd and 4th arrow seems to be breaking up the splits better than the outside angle. Maybe it's the angle of the ball. You really can't tell.
Well, we've noticed too, Nellie, over the weeks that that this right side, lane 24, comes up with the cave-ins quite often too. We haven't seen really any cave-ins on the left side. Is there any reason for this?
I don't know, Freddie. Just some alleys, the way the ball breaks, the ball seems to be hooking more on 24 than 23. That may have an effect on the carry of the pins.